The Frank Haith Show, brought to you by Don Thornton Cadillac, Pepsi, River Spirit, TTCU, the credit union, and St. Francis Health System. And now your host, Bruce Howard.
Hello again, everybody, and welcome to the Frank Haith Show. I'm Bruce Howard, joined by the head basketball coach at the University of Tulsa, Frank Haith. And after the terrific week at home with the great wins against Oklahoma State and Kansas State, coach, the question was, how would your team react? And your guys answered the bell, didn't you?
We did. We were still in exams. We had the game against New Orleans here, and that was always a big concern, is how we'll respond coming off the two good wins and then with schoolwork. And I thought our guys came out with great focus in that ball game. We did everything really, really good other than make free throws. Right. But we really got off to a good start, and that was the first and foremost thing coming out of exams.
Absolutely. And then follow it up with a win in a neutral site game against the Dayton Flyers. We'll have highlights first of the New Orleans game coming up next. We're back on the Frank Haith Show, and Coach, as we mentioned, the great week against Oklahoma State and Kansas State, how do you kind of wipe that from your memory and get ready for New Orleans?
Well, we really talked to our guys about, moving on to the next step and not being one-hit wonders. We were good in those two ball games emotionally. We want to make sure that's become a norm of who we are as a basketball team.
And of course, as Coach mentioned earlier, it was finals week, so sometimes sometimes you're a little bit diverted with your attention. But I'll tell you what, Coach, your team really started out and was really intent at the beginning of this game, really through the first blow.
We were, and just how we executed on both ends of the court. That's good transition play right there. Ball ahead, and then Quan stepping into a jumper right there to start the game off.
So right at the jump, TU gets the lead, and it's a lead that they would never relinquish in this game, and that's a nice play by Curran Scott.
Yeah, we knew they would pressure us and deny, and you were going to have to drive the ball. And there you see Lawson with a fake dribble handoff, this floater, putting the ball in, getting a little paint touch there.
So there you have a 7-2 lead, and Juan Jeffries would end up with the loose ball. Boy, he just has a big wingspan, doesn't he?
He does, and have great hands, along with having long arms. But, Simon getting a bucket a game. He's coming in and being productive and being aggressive. Really nice footwork here. And he's getting stronger and more confident in what he's doing.
And he's also, and you are as a team, identifying those mismatches because he had a guard on him. Right?
Yeah, and they were switching and being aggressive. I love this possession here. Shot fake, creating a help, and a one more pass, and obviously, Zeke making a three.
Well, how emotional was that? He'd missed his first 9 this season, and he pots that one, and that kind of unlocked it for him, didn't it?
It did, and again, you recognize a mismatch, and you see Elijah on the post-up.
Joyner with the basket, and the Hurricane leading big. And again, you get it out on the break. Why not?
Yeah, passing the ball well, getting out and running, but really, that's Martin being strong and finishing through traffic.
Big Banu, again, and you see it on the replay, how hard he worked to get the basket for the Hurricane.
Yeah, Quan getting out running, and there's Martin going to offensive glass, but taking his time, kickstand, getting his feet underneath him, good finish.
Absolutely, and the Hurricane again with the big lead. You see it's a 14-point lead.
And there's Quan with another steal, and he was really active on the defensive end, doing a lot of things from a statistics standpoint.
And then Sterling Taplin, step back 3.
Yeah, that was good to see too. Sterling get going here with his shooting.
And so you continue to extend the lead. Nice backdoor cut.
Yeah, and like I said, we knew they would come into this ball game denying, getting up in the passing lanes. We had to have some back cuts. We had to have some dribble drives. And really nice move by Jariah on the baseline there.
How important has Jariah Horn been to you here in the last 4 or 5 games?
Well, you see him come into his own. There's back-to-back buckets from it. He's just being an assertive scorer coming off the bench. But he's doing the other things too. He's playing better, understanding the defense. He had 7 boards the other day against Dayton.
DeQuan Jeffries with the 3, and the assist went to Horn. And so there you see the halftime score, the Golden Hurricane with the lead at the end of halftime, and really doing a nice job of dominating the game.
Yeah, we're up 20 at the half, so we're making threes, we're You know, we're doing what we need to do rebounding wise, and you know, that 20 points in the paint, that's really, really good.
Yeah, that's huge. And the Hurricane, again, doing a nice job of reacting to their pressure, because New Orleans is a pressure team. And here goes Daquan Jeffries again with the drive.
His ball skills have made such great improvement from last season to be able to go off the bounce.
And here early in the second half, you really do a nice job of extending.
Nice skip pass by Lawson, and you see Daquan, ready hands, ready feet, knock that corner three down.
So now you're up by 23 points, so you continue the pressure.
Another skip pass and tap, knocking down another three.
They used to say the cross-court pass wasn't a good thing, but obviously in today's game, you really need it.
You do, because the team's help side. The team getting the lane and the help, that's the pass that's open. And there you see, you know, Zeke getting another three.
Great inbounds play here.
Yeah, kind of like a misdirection, you know, going one way, the other up, and then Dry gets wide open layup.
And the lead would get down, would be as large as 28, and then New Orleans would make a little bit of a run here, and part of that was, as you mentioned earlier, missing free throws.
Yeah, we see a nice drive on the baseline, and you think back to those threes Daquan had. Now people run at him when he catches that ball in the corner. He shot fakes it and drives it. That's good basketball, and that's what, you know, reading, taking what the defense gives you.
Well, and then the athletic ability to avoid a charge on that play as well.
Yeah. Again, a paint touch, inside out by Lawson. Ready hand, ready feet. Daquan hits another three from that corner.
And this was after UNO had kind of knocked the lead down to about 12, maybe 11. But you continue to put the pressure on, and no give up by that young man, Igbanu.
Yeah, and just staying with it. You know, like I said, we missed 20 free throws this ball game.
Yeah.
But as you can see, we did what we needed to do, and I thought every aspect of the game we played well, other than the free throw shooting. We shot 52% from the floor, 43% from three, had a number of guys contribute.
Couple of double-doubles, as you mentioned. It was Daquan Jeffries leading the way with a really sterling performance, 20 points and 13 rebounds. He's following up his award last week of being the American Athletic Conference Player of the Week, and Daquan just continues to get better and better, doesn't he?
And we talked about it. His ball skills, along with his shooting, have made great improvements.
So TU defeats New Orleans, then it's on the road to Uncasville, Connecticut for a neutral site game against the Dayton Flyers. That's coming up next on The Frank Haith Show.
Here's Taplin driving right, shovels it into the left corner. Carita, open three, off the front rim, no good. Rebound volleyed around, and Jeffries has it, layup good. Barnes inside the arc is bodied heavily. He turns and pivots and finds a man inside. It is Joyner who turns and shoots and scores. Tipped and stolen by Daquan Jeffries. Off to Taplin, back to Jeffries. Jeffries drives, shovel shot, scoop, no good. Rebound though, Igbanu under the basket. He gets double teamed and lays it up and in anyway.
We're back on the Frank Haith Show, and you know the New Orleans game was a watermark game for a couple of reasons. It was the final that your guys had to take. So now you've got that all out of the way, and now it's all ball, and you get ready to go on the road.
Yeah, and playing a really critical game against a Dayton team I think is really talented, a team that'll do well in Atlantic 10. And they're well coached, and they've played a tremendous schedule, so that you know they've been primed and ready. So it was a big ball game for us.
No doubt Dayton had lost to 3 ranked teams and also lost to OU, which is probably a team that will be ranked pretty soon. So no question about it, Tulsa going against a 5-4 team that is a whole lot better than that particular record would indicate. And this is only the 3rd meeting all time between TU, one of which was in the NCAA tournament. And Coach, you get off early with a nice shot by Daquan Jeffries.
Well, you see Daquan in that shot there, but he himself. There he is, back-to-back threes. I think he had 10 points right here early. Was really, really good in terms of just being ready. You know, as current on the drive, and that's what he does, putting the ball on the defense.
And the Hurricane with that early advantage. That advantage would be 10-5. There was a lot of flow to this game early because your under 16 timeout didn't come until about the 12-minute mark.
Yeah, that, you know, we had some winning guys out there too. But nice shot fake, pull up, mid-range shot for Daquan. He's got to continue to work on that because people are going to come at him.
And here's that basket you mentioned. He scores every game by Simon Follicum.
He goes in the game and he's very confident and he's worked at his game. There's Jirai hitting a 3 in the corner when they went zone. We talk about his production, what he's made for our team.
Your lead would be as large as 14 in the first half. What were you doing well?
Sharing the ball, taking good shots, but we were also, you look at that number to the right, 11 points with 12 minutes into the game. We were defending, and that's, you know, Good ball movement there on the baseline. Quan, great finish.
Yeah, he got the ball at short corner, and boy, once he saw that advantage, because the guy didn't seal the baseline, it was over.
Yeah, you look at Lawson has 5 assists, no turnovers this ball game. That was a great pass by him.
Well, let's go to the other side then and do some stuff with Daquan again as the reverse dunks that time.
Set play after timeout, another great pass by Lawson, and a great finish.
And so the Golden Hurricane extending the lead. This would be the largest lead for them, for the Hurricane, at 27-13, and then Dayton starts to come back.
Yeah, we took a couple tough shots, and they executed, made some plays, and they're a good team. You know, you're not going to run away from them. You know, you knew they would get back into the ball game.
And you see they tied the game just at the end of the first half, and you know, your numbers weren't bad at all. It was certainly a good first half, but each team kind of had their run, huh?
Yeah, and then, you know, as good teams are, you know, we knew that they would battle back, but I think we're in a good place right now.
In the early part of the second half, the lead would yo-yo back and forth between Dayton and Tulsa, and here's where TU takes the lead.
Again, another cross-court pass. Lawson seems to get a floater again. You talk about Simon get a bucket game, and Lawson's been working on that floater.
And then your team starts to slowly take control of the game. Obviously, that basket was one that helped the Dayton Flyers, but your team starts to slowly take control.
Yeah, good execution on out-of-bounds play there for Zeke. Nice jump shot, good screen.
And that broke a 39-39 tie, but now tied again at 41. And a terrific play by Martins as he kept that pivot foot down.
Yeah, I think they went on like a 5-0 run, and then we came back and tied it up, and that was big. But that pass there, I don't know if we see if it was from Lawson, was an unbelievable pass and a great catch.
And here's that sequence where Martin Zigbanu is dominating things, and then you take it outside, and Jeriah Horn splashes one.
Yeah, a little high-low action and give Martin some spacing. And this is another great execution on out-of-bounds play with Zeke knocks down another 3.
Yeah, and when Martins is such a big threat, stuff happens outside too.
Opens up stuff for you, and that's a driving play we run for Daquan, and great finish.
Yeah, and it's a play you might see once or twice a game, and it usually is successful, isn't it?
Well, we run a lot of spread pick and roll where we roll up, and then all of a sudden you hit him with the driving of that same execution of that play. It's a tough play to guard, but there's Martin step through, great finish in traffic. He had a stretch where he was pretty dominant.
Yep. And now here's Sterling Taplin with the drive inside and the scoop layup.
Yeah, we got some ball movement, spread pick and roll stuff, and Sterling got loose on that ball screen.
And now here's Martins again, and even with double teams against him, he's able to beat him.
Great patience and getting a feel for when the defense was you know, he can have a chance to get an open look. This is a great crossover by Sterling, finishing the thing, get an and-one.
And the Hurricane again extending that lead. He would get a free throw after this, and Tulsa would be up by 10 at that point. But you knew that Dayton would come back.
Yeah, and we kind of are undoing. You know, Tap lets the kid come down and hit a 3. There was a play before that. We just missed the bunny. We missed 2 layups. Tap missed 1, and then Martins missed 1. And they jogged down here 3 on that play.
And this was a shot in an attempt to tie the game with about 15 seconds to go. It goes off the rim. Tulsa collects the rebound, and then Curran Scott, boy, was he clutch. This is, you know, a 1-and-1 situation where he made both free throws, then he made 2 more, and you're able to hold off Dayton by a final of 72-67. How satisfying was that win?
It really was big time. And you talk about Tap's play to Curran right there to get it to him. But you look at our numbers, Bruce, everything, we shoot 54 from the floor, 54 from 3, 80 plus from the free throw line. Offensively, had a great statistical night. But then defensively, 40% shooting for them and 22% from 3. You know, it really was a satisfying win.
And Martin Zigbanu was the most valuable player in the game, so that was good to see, huh?
It was. You know, he played well down the stretch there in the second half and gave us a chance to win the game.
Well, we are in Christmas time, so in a moment we'll be back with our feature about favorite Christmas memories on the Frank Haith Show.
Let me say, it's really hard what you did tonight. I mean, this is what's hard. You have the game in control, you lose control, they get back in the game, but you bowed your backs, you showed great toughness in the second half. That's hard to do. It's really hard to do. What it tells me is we got some substance in this room. We got some toughness, we got some substance. And I'm really proud of you guys. We can be really, really good. But we got to understand where we're at and embrace it and continue to work. I'm proud of you. Great win. Great win. Great win.
We're back on the Frank Haith Show, and it's time for our feature segment, which is asking the players what was their favorite Christmas memory or gift. And I know one of the gifts that you get every year is you get to spend some time with these guys, more time with them, and not only getting better in basketball, but just spending time with your family, if you will.
Absolutely, and we have a Christmas party with our team, with our players, where they exchange gifts. And it's such a neat time to see those guys' reaction. They take their monies and they go out and get a gift for each other. Really special.
Absolutely, and let's take a look at 60 seconds with your favorite Christmas memory with the TU basketball players.
All I want for Christmas is you. Yeah.
My favorite Christmas was when I got my first pair of Haley's. I wanted some Haley's. And I was for about the whole year, and I just wanted some Haley's, and I got them. And that was my favorite Christmas.
My favorite Christmas memory would be the last Christmas dinner I had with my family, all of us together. And nothing really special, just it was like every other Christmas day, but it's just the last one I remember because that was the last time I seen them, which was like 6 years ago. So that's the one that I hold on to the most.
Favorite Christmas memory is spending time with family. That's about it. This tradition, opening gifts around 12 o'clock at noon, and seeing smiles on people's faces.
My favorite Christmas gift is a pair of Jordan 11s that my mom gave me when I was growing up, and it was a very special moment for me.
My favorite Christmas memory was when I got my first moped from my mom and my dad. It was very special. I've always wanted one. All my friends had mopeds, so it was just exciting to get a moped.
My favorite Christmas memory is hanging out with my teammates and opening our Secret Santa gifts. Just seeing all the gifts our guys, or my teammates got for each other, and it was all just funny.
My favorite Christmas memory is back in 2005, I went up to Georgia, and I got a PT Cruiser from my dad, and I was up there with all my family. That was pretty cool. It's special because all my family is from Liberia, and the family that's from Liberia that came over here to America is all in Georgia, and I don't get to see them much, so that's why it was awesome.
My favorite family Christmas tradition is playing 2-on-2 with my brothers and sisters, with my dad in the gym, going to 100. That's my favorite family tradition. I definitely win. I win every year. I haven't lost yet. My dad claims he can beat me, but I haven't lost yet. So
my favorite Christmas memory was my last Christmas, and it was my favorite because we were able to bring my entire family together. My brother and sister were able to make it home for Christmas, and it was really enjoyable to have the family together again.
My favorite Christmas memory is going to church with my family and getting to spend time with my family, I guess, and getting to praise the Lord. It was great.
My favorite Christmas gift, probably getting 2K VCs. I gotta make my My Player nice. Can't be out here struggling.
We're back on the Frank Haith Show and the Golden Hurricane with our final non-league game, final game before Christmas. And Coach, it's ORU, it's the crosstown rivalry. You know they're coming to play.
Yeah, there's no question. I mean, you look at their schedule. They got off to a slow start. They're starting to play a lot better. Had a huge win at Richmond, a tough place to go get a win. Atlantic 10 team. As a Queasy, it's going to be a tough matchup for us. We got to be ready to play.
Absolutely. The Hurricane will play that game and then, of course, get ready for American Athletic Conference play. But this is our final show. We take a couple of weeks off and then get it going at the end of the year, right at the beginning of 2019. And for everybody here in the Hurricane family, we'd like to say Merry Christmas from TU Basketball. That's it for the Frank Haith Show. So long. We'll talk to you in a couple of weeks.
The Frank Haith Show, brought to you by Don Thornton Cadillac, Pepsi, River Spirit, TTCU, The Credit Union, and St. Francis Health System. The Frank Haith Show has been a presentation of Golden Hurricane Sports Properties and a Kane Vision production.